Welcome back to the Catnip Podcast. My name is Grace and today is Monday, May 23rd. This is a podcast about knitting, books, baking, and cats, but most importantly knitting because that is what I love to do all day, every day. If you'd like to follow me on any of my social medias, I have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Ravelry. I'm most active on Instagram, so please go follow me over on there. You can see all the various test knits, animals, one animal, my cat, baking and other things that I get up to during the week. I also have show notes, so the links to things that I will all be talking about will hopefully be in the show notes. If I happen to forget anything, please feel free to ask me a question, or if you just want to say hi, that is also wonderful. I also work at a yarn store. It is called Pearly Girls. It is in Spring, Texas, and I will leave all the various social media and website information if you would like to check us out in person or online. I'm in a different location today for not really any special reason, but we will get to that in a moment. So if you would like to grab something tasty to drink, hydration is important. Just a friendly reminder, have you drank enough water today? If you like to grab something tasty to drink, something to snack upon, something to craft upon, an animal to snuggle, my animal is literally right behind you. He's staring at me because he wants snuggles. And I don't have time for them right now, unfortunately. Maybe you are on your lunch break, maybe you are just hanging out, whatever it is, I hope it's bringing you joy and you can come back and join me for some crafty chat. Okay, why am I here? I am in front of my dresser, our dresser, in our bedroom because Monday is one of Sam's, my husband if you're new, one of his work from home days, and he is currently having a meeting and everyone's like on, I don't think he's using headphones right now, so you could like hear everyone talking. And normally if it was just him it would be fine, because I could shut the door a little bit. Just a little bit because Birdie's litter box is in the office, so Birdie would need access to that, and it would just be fine if it was just Sam's voice, but it's like a lot of people talking. So here I am. I needed to get this recorded, so we were just changing up the location. I do apologize. Look at this wonderful dresser. It's really amazing. We bought it from a friend, and it's just great. I apologize if it's a little wonky, but we're just gonna have to deal with it. On this side I have a mirror, on this side I have a big pile of towels that I've pushed out of the frame for reality. Just so you know, things are not beautiful all the time. There are piles of clothes here, 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 over there. Yes. There are messes outside of the frame that you can see me. So, first of all, I've decided my summer recording schedule, and I am very excited to tell you because everyone, I have decided that I will be taking over a summer break, and I will be recording every other week during June, July, and August. And one of those months has 5 Mondays, and I don't remember what I wrote down in my calendar, but it's gonna work out just fine. So I have it all planned. Just trust me on this. I did write it down. I just don't have it on my calendar here in my phone. I have it in my planner that I write in. So yes, today will not be the last episode for the month. I will record next week as well, and then we will start my summer schedule, if you will. And I will be recording not the 6th, but I will be recording the 13th, not the 20th, and then I'll be recording the 27th. So you'll be getting 2 episodes, June and July, and I think also in August as well. So we have fun things coming up, and I just want to make sure that I don't stress about podcasting too much, and especially with things just being busy, also it being hot, and I'm currently in a room where there's a wonderful fan, so I'm delightfully cool right now. The breeze is very nice, but just with the various factors that make knitting in the summer, as much knitting in the summer, a little uncomfortable. I just don't want to have to like stress about having enough content during the summer, and taking a little summer vacation type thing every other week, whatever, I think is a very fun thing. So I'm excited about it. I do apologize. I'm sorry that we're going to be cutting the amount of episodes in half when it comes to the summer, but I am doing this for me, and that is important. So thank you for understanding and being excited for me. And hopefully that will enable me to bring you all the knitting content and all the knitting stuff in the meantime. So, but don't worry, that won't start until June. So we have this episode and the next episode in May, because May is almost over. Where has May gone? I don't know. Into the void of time. So let's just get into knitting. I will post reminders of my recording schedule, the various places, so if you happen to forget, that is why. I may forget to post the weeks that I don't record, so if you don't see anything from me during the summer, don't worry. It's okay. So I have a lot of knitting, surprisingly enough. I don't know how. I literally have no idea how it has happened. Like I mentioned last week, I currently have a secret test knit that I'm working on. It is a very large project and the deadline is very close. And somehow I have just powered through it. I'm almost done. I literally have, like, in the grand scheme of things, I think it's about an eighth of it left. And I don't know how that happened. I think it's all I was knitting on when I wasn't at work. And if I was at home, that's all I was knitting on. So consequently, I felt really good about where I was at with this project and just started working on other things. I also had other events, I had work, I did things outside the house that involved me knitting, and got lots of other stuff done. But all the things that I worked on, I got a lot of progress, and two, they're at the point where, like, I didn't have much left until I moved on to the next big thing, so I feel like I've done a lot. And I have, because also I do have a finished object. This is my Salty Air Tee, which is a test knit by Samantha Gurin. I finished this and I wore this on Sunday, and it was just absolutely delightful. I loved it so much. This is a lace yoked, top down, cropped summery tee. You can make it as long or as short as you want. You can have long, short, or short sleeves. Obviously it's written for short sleeves. You can adjust your yardage accordingly. That's the back, here's the front. We do have short rows to make it fit really nicely and lay nicely. It is wonderful. I loved getting to work on this. My yarn that I used is the Malabrigo Cicero in the Sunset colorway. Not sunshine or sunrise, but sunset. And then we all started singing the song from Fiddler on the Roof. That will be stuck in my head for the rest of the day. You're welcome. So, what was I saying? Cicero. Yes, this is the sunset colorway. We do have this, the Cicero in several different colors at Pearly Girls, so if you'd like to check us out and get your yarn for this from us, that would be amazing. We have it available online, or you can come see us in person. So that is very exciting. I used about 2 full skeins, which in the grand scheme of things is quite amazing. I think I knit size 3, and that gave me the, I don't remember. It will be in my Ravelry notes, which will be linked in my show notes, so don't worry. I apologize, that is information that I should know, but I don't. My cat keeps looking at me like, why aren't you paying attention to me? He gets particularly grumpy on Mondays because, like, both Sam and I are home, but we're both really busy doing things because Monday's kind of like my big chore day. And so, like, we're here, but we can't give him the attention that we normally would if we were home. And so he gets really grumpy on Mondays, but what can you do? Anyway, I'm not sure when this comes out. I am a little out of the loop on that, and that's my bad, but I think it's coming out sometime in June, which is very exciting. Here's the lace detailing, which is just such a fun pattern. I really had a fun time knitting this. I would definitely make another one, for sure. And the lace is very easy. It's both written and charted, so if you prefer one over the other, you have options, which I think is just really great. Having all the possibilities so everyone can knit it. And wide range of sizes, also awesome. Salty Air Tea by Samantha Gurin. If you're unfamiliar with her designs, you need to get on that because she has some really cute things. I've tested it for her many times before, and she is just such a wonderful human being, and I love her designs. So definitely check her out. Check out the Salty Air Tea when it comes out. Follow me on Instagram. Follow her on Instagram. All the things. That's my finished object. So yay. Go me! So next up, I have my big test net that I can't show you. These others I didn't work on. So I've got 3 other projects that I worked on that I got significantly far in. So, but we'll see how long I can talk about them. May not be that long, but we will see. What do we talk about first? Let's talk about this one first. This is living in my Purple Cat bag from Cassie, a Big Sky yarn company that she made for me. Maybe 2 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago. Almost 2 years ago, I think. And I love it so dearly. So this is my Cruiser cardigan by Skein Yarn, and I am almost done with the right front and sleeve shaping, which is amazing. Doesn't look like anything, literally, like, can't even tell what it is, but I tried this on last week. It was a great look. So looks a little bit more like something this week. It's clearly a sweater, can't you tell? So I finished the left side and all of its shaping. Consequently, also forgot to do the I-cord edging on most of the side, but that's okay. It will be fine. I may go in and fix that at some point, but not right now. And now I'm working on the right front, and I finished all the short rows, so now I'm just knitting till I have a certain length. And then I have the pleasure of Kitchenering together the sleeves, which I'm not too excited about. I do have saved in my, like, knitting folder on Instagram, which if you don't have one of those, I would highly recommend you making one because they can be very handy for saving inspirational project pictures, for tutorials of techniques that you want to try, and also it helps people in the algorithm if you save their pictures. So it's like a win-win thing. You have inspirational and educational videos, and it helps them, the makers, in the algorithm, because the algorithm is just poo. It is not very helpful. Anyway, so I have several little TikTok-y reel things about various forms to do the Kitchener stitch that are not quite the same as like the actual Kitchener stitch. And so I'm very intrigued. I will need to find those and pick one. And if I do, I will try and link it in the show notes. Or by the time I make the show notes, I will not be to that point. So maybe next week, if I do get to that point, I will link what I used or will use. I don't know. Anyway, it's very interesting construction. I don't really, like, I understand what I'm doing, but it doesn't really look like anything. I understand what I'm doing and I understand the construction, but it's like I'm just kind of knitting along and just like, we're just following the instructions and hoping it turns out. I know it will turn out, but it's a different construction than what I normally make, and so that's fun. It's all in garter stitch. I'm loving the yarn I'm using, which is Juniper Moon Patagonia Organic Merino. Did I get it? I think I got it. For the past, how many weeks did I get that wrong? Haha. Juniper Moon Farm. Excuse me, I was basically there. I am loving this. So, it's super squishy. It's very soft. It reminds me of a softer version of Shelter by Brooklyn Tweed. I love this. I believe I got this at Maker and Stitch, my mom's local yarn shop. So, this is great. And yeah, so once I'm finished with this right side and I Kitchener everything, I will then join the body together and be just knitting back and forth. And there is some shaping to kind of go along with the sleeves because it's kind of like a dolman bat wing action going on. That was a big stretch and a big yawn. Oh yes. Oh, he's so cute. You see me looking past you over your shoulder. I'm looking at Birdie. And so then we have like a collar of some sort. It's kind of in a weird place, but it like altogether it looks really awesome. But it's not your normal construction. It's not your normal shape of a sweater, so it's a little different, and I'm loving it. So I don't know. I was thinking about this, like, I think this has happened to me before. What am I trying to say? I'm just gonna sit here and mumble words and you'll have no idea what I'm thinking about. I have a theory that when I have these, so this is not my first secret test knit. When I have these test knits and also these secret ones, and when I also have these test knits that have super tight deadlines and that's all I knit on, I consequently, like, my knitting speed goes up, or my ability to accomplish a certain amount within a certain amount of time, goes up significantly. And so the first couple of like projects that I work on, either in rotation or when I'm done with these test knits with the tight deadline or that are secret, all that knitting energy gets poured into these additional projects, which is great because then I get a lot done. But I feel like also there's part of me that's like, I haven't been able to work on something else than just this one project, and I really am just itching. I am dying to work on something else, but I can't because I have this deadline and stuff like that, and I can't because it's a secret and this needs to get done. And so when I do work on other things, there's just so much energy and excitement that gets poured into these projects, and then I get a lot done. I think I just said the same thing, basically. That's my point. I hope that made sense. But I feel very strongly about this. Because I got to a point on this secret testnet and I was like, you know what, I can chill, I can take some time off from it, even though I'm at home and even though I've got a good chunk of knitting time this evening. I'm gonna work on something else because I really want to, and I know I have enough time to finish this ahead of schedule. So I'm gonna take some time for me, and I got so much done. And also, this always happens, and eventually will not be able to happen because I will finish this project. But every time this happens, I always have the itch to work on my O-band cardigan by Thea Coleman. And if you've been with me for a long time, you would know that this has been on my needles for a very long time. I had meant to look up how long this has been on my needles, but I completely forgot, so we're gonna do that right now. I was looking up how old Millie Bobby Brown was the other day, and that's still saved. She's currently 18 years old, in case you were curious. Are we excited about Stranger Things season 4? I don't know. We will have to wait and see. I heard that one of the episodes is at least 2.5 hours long, and I don't know how I feel about that. When was my O-band cardigan cast on? It was cast on. COVID wasn't even a thing. It was cast on in August of 2019. I had set it as a goal to be finished by January 2020. Again, before the world shut down. That's crazy. This cardigan has seen a lot of life events and world events. Anyway, so I just like powered through. But it also helped that when I had left off, I was close to finishing the back, so I didn't really have to do a lot on the back. And then I could do both fronts lickety-split. Second front went so much faster because I knew what I was doing. There was a lot of like at the same time action, and I didn't overthink it, and we just went with it, and it was great, and it went super fast. I magically had the cable pattern still memorized, so I didn't need to look at the chart. I don't know how that happened. Probably because I've been working on it so long. Which maybe that's a good thing. See, maybe that's the positive things in the case of letting things hibernate for a long time. You get really familiar with those stitch patterns. Oh goodness. Anyway, so the body is completely done. The knitting for the body is all done. All I have left to knit are the sleeves and then the button band collar thing. So if you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen that I have actually blocked this. And I don't know how I'm gonna hold this up to show it to you because it's currently not sewn together. But you do that, like, can we even? This yarn has great stitch definition. This is Knit Picks Simply Wool Worsted in the Wilhelmina colorway from 2019. If not before then, because I remember my mom and I got this yarn to do as a knit along. My mom ended up doing something else, which is fine because obviously it's taken me 3 years to do this. Almost 3 years. Almost, not quite, but we're getting there. Will I finish it before August? Ooh, that would be amazing. So it's not, hasn't been on my needles for 3 years. It's currently not on any needles, so. It does now smell like Texas sunshine, and it's also woolly, and I love it. It's very nice. So I blocked it and will be sewing the shoulder seams together, excuse me. And then I'll be picking up and doing sleeves. Sleeves shouldn't be that complicated. The cat is now jumping down and I will need to open the door for him, so I will be right back. Hey, sweet boy. Do you need out? Okay, well now I've shut Birdie out of the room, so hopefully I'll be able to see when he comes back so he can hop up on the bed. Anyway, what was I talking about? My O-band cardigan. Yes, I have to do seam the shoulders and then pick up around the shoulder or the armholes, and do 2 sleeves. So the sleeve should not be super complicated if I remember correctly. I think there's just 2 cable panels along the front or the top of the sleeve. And the rest of it, unfortunately, is in reverse stockinette stitch, and so I do have to do that backwards. So I do have to do a lot of purling. But that should be okay. We're learning things. We're making things work. Also the pockets. I will have to finish the pockets. But the pockets pretty much finished except for just kind of like sewing them together. Because I have them like pinned down. I think there's also like ribbing that I do up at the top. I honestly don't know. They're not like huge pockets, but they may end up being bigger if there is ribbing up at the top. I don't know. I know I've read this part in the pattern, but I couldn't remember because I probably glazed over it because I was like, oh, there's still a lot left to do. I may be blocking it now, but it's still not done yet. But that's okay. The goal is before August. Before August. And that would be just so amazing. And there will be buttons, and I don't know what buttons I want. I think black buttons would be really pretty. I think wood buttons would be really pretty, like a dark brown. Oh yeah. Or like the color of this. I think that would be really pretty. Maybe not. That's like a warm brown. This is a definitely cool brown. So I'm just super happy with it. There's something about cables that's just very satisfying, and I like get in these moods where I'm like, I want to knit cables. It's kind of like a craving, like I really need potato chips right now. Or like there's a specific type of popsicle that I really like and I really want one of those right now. I do that with cables. I don't necessarily do that with any other thing like color work or lace. I mean, there are some times where it's just like, oh, I could really go for that right now, but I don't necessarily act on it. I mean, it helps that I've had this on my needles for almost 3 years, so it's always been available to me. But yeah, there's just something about cables. It's just very satisfying that I really like. Not that the other things are not satisfying, because they definitely are, but it's just so nice. This is by Thea Coleman. Did I say that? I don't remember. This is the O-band cardigan by Thea Coleman. This is actually, I think, my first Thea Coleman pattern, and I have many that I have saved in my queue, and I have yarn for several of them, and I want to make them all because I want to live the cozy cabled sweater life. Not all of hers are cabled, and I think some of the ones that I have saved are not necessarily cabled, but it's just like, oh man, we can't wear those things all year round here. It's just not possible. Not possible. But that's okay. You know, if I did it all the time, it wouldn't be as special, and it is what it is. So anyway, let's move on to my next and final project that I worked on. This is living in my Rows and Seams bag. She used to be a Farmhouse Sewing Cafe bag, or yeah, bags, and but she has since changed her business name, and I'm very excited for her, and I just love this bag. It's very not necessarily seasonally appropriate for here because it's just hot. We do have spring showers, but it's hot and humid, so there's that. But Or you could be living in Colorado and have just gotten a bunch of snow in May, end of May. What? Birdie wants back in. Never mind. He decided he wanted to sit on the couch in the living room. So he can do what he wants. He's a grown adult. He's 22. He can figure out what he wants. Anyway. So this is Living in This Bag. This is my Weekender Light by Andrea Mowry. I am knitting this out of Heathered Handmade's Simple Sock. I do apologize, the lighting is not as good in here as it is out there, but you do what you gotta do. This is Be Teal My Heart. It is significantly more green in person than what I'm seeing on my camera. So maybe it's hopefully it's showing it more green on your screen, but on what I'm seeing, it's much more blue. But if you've seen recent episodes, you would know what color this is. So, yes, I got so much done. I am just about an inch short of where I need to be to like change what I'm doing and start working on the back and the front. What? What? So we have a split hem. The back is longer than the front. It's great. I'm super excited. Just been knitting in the round. Knitting in the round. So what happened that enabled me to knit, like, how much is that? It's maybe 5 inches, close to 5 inches. You know, it is the season of graduations. Yeah. And Sam's youngest brother just graduated from high school. And so we went and did all that stuff, and during the ceremony, I pulled out my knitting and did some knitting on this and got a lot of knitting done, and it was really great. And then we hung out with his family, and that was more knitting, and the drive back, there was more knitting, so I got a lot done, and I've started on my second skein out of 3. And here's what I have. It is knit inside out, so what everyone will see when I actually wear it. Here's the... So I have this slip stitch that will be down in the front and the back, and the purl side will be out when I wear it. I have a Little Bitty Delights marker because I wanted to mark my progress from last night, and I got almost an inch of that. And then this little guy came with my project bag, and last week I couldn't remember what this maker had changed her business name to, and I very much apologize. She used to be Pacific Moon Knits, and now she's Charmedology. That's my bad. It is linked in the show notes though, so I did have that there, but I do apologize for forgetting. But it's just so cute. She does the cutest little clay stitch markers, and it's smiling, and then I have my Waiting for Rhinebeck, or I think that's what it was called. Something having to do with Rhinebeck, Progress Keeper from Little Bitty Delights. So this is what I have. I also have a Gilmore Girls themed stitch marker from A Needle Runs Through It. I have a lot of her stitch markers as well. It's just wonderful. So I have about an inch left, and then I get to start the fronts and the back, and so we'll see where I get next week. Who knows? And then I know the sleeves will fly because that's just knitting in the round, and we do everything on 9-inch circulars. That is just how we do things here. So I know they will go quickly, and I'm very excited for that. But that is my Weekender Light. And yeah, I just happened to get a lot done. And again, what I was talking about last week, it's just one of those things I can knit really fast on. And granted, I can't knit as fast when I need to be quiet. When I'm like at a graduation and need to be quiet, or I'm like at church and need to be quiet and not make a big a big ruckus with my needles because I'm so loud. It's not really that loud, but it can be distracting. I can't knit as fast then, but that's okay. I mean, it's a very small price to pay. I'm just very happy to be knitting at all, so it's okay. What else have I haven't really been knitting on anything else. Obviously the secret test knit, can't show it to you yet. Not sure when, but when I do, it will be amazing. It is just so cute and snuggly. I'm so excited. And then I have my other finished object and these other three. We will see where I get for next week. We will see. We will see. We will see. Anyway, I'm just going to leave this here because that's all that I really have, and I don't want to force talking about things if I don't have anything to talk about. So, because then that just makes me ramble unnecessarily, and I don't think anybody really wants that, and I don't want to edit that. So we're gonna call it quits here. I have all the various social medias. I have just show notes, yarn store information. If there's anything that's missing or anything if you have questions on, feel free to send me a message, or if you just want to say hello, that will be wonderful. I hope you had a wonderful weekend and you continue to have a wonderful week. If you have crafty plans, I hope that they are so successful. I would really love to just make progress on all the things and maybe finish my secret test knit, because I know that is possible. Because I divide things up and then I do a certain amount of rows, and either then I take a break or I just like work on something else, and it's just really great. And we rotate through and the creative juices are just constantly flowing. We're feeling inspired. So good. Out of these three projects that I'm most excited about, which one am I most excited about? We got 2 cardigans in the year of the cardigan. Look at me go. So good. What was this? Patting. Pat on the back. What? Yes. We're moving on. I don't know. I think I'm excited for the Oban cardigan just to like get it done, and also to be able to wear it eventually. Not right now because it's too hot. But like the fisherman's knit, cables, I love that so much. I want those things. But I'm also really loving the cruiser cardigan just for the, I mean, it's super cute. It's not just because of the interesting construction. I have a hair on my nose. So I'm just really enjoying it. And then obviously the Weekender Light, I just love. I love the yarn. I love knitting on it. I'm in the homeward stretch now. So just loving all the things. Maybe I should pull out, there are other things I need to work on. There's some things that I have started recently that I'm just not really feeling, so I may change my mind, but we will see. I need to reevaluate some things, new projects, and maybe just pull out some older things as well. So we will see. We will see. We will see. I don't know. Will we have a finished object next week? Probably not. But that's okay. If I do, that would be just 1, incredible, and 2, I don't know how I could do that, but you know, you're never safe from surprise until you're dead. Do we know who said that? Do we know who said that? If you do know, leave it in the comments. It's a very specific reference. So I may remember and then share the answer next week if no one knows, but I know there are some people who do know. I know my mom knows. Anyway, that is all that I have. thank you so much for hanging out with me in this new location that is our bedroom. You just do what you gotta do, and that's okay. Every time I opened up the door to see if Birdie wanted to come in, I heard more voices in the office, so it's good that I'm in here. Anyway, I said the thing about the summer recording and the summer schedule and all that kind of stuff, so that's good. And yeah, I think that's all I have. Thank you for being you. You are enough. You are wonderful. I hope you have just a wonderful rest of your day or your evening or whatever time it is. And I will see you next week, hopefully with more progress. A finished object? I don't know. Only time will tell. And hopefully I will get to show you everything next week. So with that, I will see you all next week. Bye!